If there if there are two barriers, the ego barrier and the blind spot barrier, I'd argue that the blind spot is the more dangerous of the two, because the ego barrier, you can kind of and again, what these two barriers are they're like barriers to what you can see clearly and what you can see objectively. So I think the ego barrier is the less dangerous of the two, because you can kind of just adopt the attitude that, you know, I'm gonna, what is it? Oh, like I'm just gonna put my ego aside and I'm gonna do this thing, you know? Like you just keep the attitude that instead of thinking I'm right, like how do I know I'm right? And think you're wrong, seek to be less wrong. Don't let things get to your head. You know, you're not guaranteed shit. You can fucking die anytime. Having these attitudes kind of helps, but then the blind spot barrier, it's things that like you legitimately can't see. Like if you think of a human being's vision, and like if you can see, if like 360 degrees like exists, you see maybe like 20 or 30 degrees, you know, and but you can ask other people and they see their they can see things from a different perspective, like a different point. So if you're this middle point and you see 20 degrees, like a small like pie, like that 20 or 30 degrees, they can from like an outside point maybe see 20 or 30 degrees, and they can see things that you don't. So that's why you ask other people everything. Any decision you make, anything you're gonna do, you get critique from other people. Like Ray Dalio said, like smart people who disagree with you, smartest person who disagrees with you, see their perspectives, see what they say, and then see what you see, and then you guys can work together to come closer to the real truth, the true truth, you know? And it will help you to make decisions a lot of the time off of, most of the time maybe, off of what other people say, what they suggest, what they see, because they can see things that you can't. So the blind spot is things that you're blind to and you can't see. A good example is being love, you know, like they say, like love is blind, and it's true. Like you can't, like the person who's in love, whenever you're in that situation, seen it with myself too, that like, oh, like you see certain things or you feel certain things, and then you want to say and do certain things, but then like you ask your buddy, you ask your friend, and they'll say like, no, this is like fucking retarded, like why would you do that? And they'll give you clear insights to um, like what you should be doing or what you should not be doing. You know, they'll tell you that like, yeah, this is a bad idea because of this, or this is a good idea because of that, and you should fucking listen to them because you're in love, and you have to accept that like you're in a blind spot, and they're seeing things that you aren't. You know, and that same friend that's giving advice, they can give the best advice in the world, and they won't be able to give that advice to themselves or even recognize it when they're in that situation. And the same is true for you. You know, you, if the situation's reversed, I mean, if the roles reversed, you'd be the one giving your friend this exact same advice. You know, it's not nothing you don't know. It's nothing that you haven't encountered or that's like foreign or something. But it's like when you're in that situation, when you're in that moment, then you can't see it. You know, it's like it's like you've encountered it, but you can't see it or recognize it in that moment, and only like your friend or someone observing from the outside can. So that's why the blind spot is the more limiting of the two. That's why you should um, limiting of the two barriers, and that's why you should seek others' perspectives for like everything. Find open-minded people who are open-minded, who give rationale to their reasoning, and who put the most thought and consideration and like a lot of intellectual work into their reasoning about why they came to the conclusions that they did, and find the smartest people who disagree with you, who have different perspectives from you, you know, and kind of learn, seek other people's perspectives, other smart, open-minded people, seek their perspectives, and then work together to find and come closer to the true truth, the real truth. You know, you should want to, above all, embrace reality, seek reality, have dreams that mesh with reality, and that's the best and maybe only way you can truly achieve like the biggest things that you want to achieve. with other people. That's like the only way, and that's the only way you can really get past your blind spots. um, yeah, and you should, with everything you see or do or you are considering doing or have thought about, seek other people's perspectives, see what they say and what they suggest, um, and get their feedback and their thoughts and suggestions and stuff. And then from there, you can come closer to the truth. Um, seek other people's perspectives, and yeah, find what your blind spots are. You have them a lot of the time, and that's the beauty of it and the curse of it, or like you can't really ever see it when you're in a blind spot, but your friends will know. So ask them. That's the most important thing, one of the most important things in the world.